People, Deluded, a quick one. I'm not going to be here long. I'm in Soho Square. I'm in my lunch break. Nothing really to talk about at length. Now, first and foremost, William Saliba, second straight defeat in a row for not only himself, but his club, St Etienne. They lost to Metz, in which he had a terrible time against Diallo, and he must have learnt a lot. They lost 2-0 against Marseille. And obviously, Marseille are doing fairly well in the league under AVB, Villas-Boas. Can't remember his first name, but the former Spurs and Chelsea gaffer. So it was always a good game. Going to be a tough game and a good game for the neutrals. I only came across the highlights. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch it, but it is what it is in that regards. I do know the game was delayed by 15 minutes due to kickoff. I think there were some policing problems. And obviously, if you saw the first goal, there was nothing Saliba or any of them could do. Saliba weren't at fault for any of the goals, in my opinion. But the first goal, just to big up Payet, it's a terrific goal from Payet, man. Now he even finds the angle, that tight angle to slot it home, I don't know. The second goal, probably naive positioning from his centre-back teammate and former teenager in Fofana. He's pulled over across. He's not really aware of his man. Again, I only watched the highlights, so there's probably more things wrong in the phase of play. But from what I saw with Saliba, obviously it's a disappointing performance for St Etienne to lose. But he had some good passes. He had some decent touches. A couple of times his positioning looked a bit shaky, but he weren't at fault in none of the games. And based on the highlights, he looked like he had a competent performance. Trying to find the ability to watch him over 90 minutes as I did against Metz and whatever, but so far so good. And at a time I'm so sure he was unbeaten when he played for St Etienne this season, but he's lost 2 games in a row. It happens. I think that result leaves St Etienne both on 28 points and sitting 15th. Obviously St Etienne's long-term future is a bit irrelevant to him because he's coming back to Arsenal, but at the end of the day he needs to help St Etienne in his own way to have the best season they can. Obviously, I'm sure he's got a strong bond with St Etienne, as you see with the microphone, so he wants to help them. And I don't know for their aspirations or what they're trying to do as a team, but I'm sure he wants to be a big part of that. He played in a back three with a fellow teenager in Fofana, who's probably going to start getting linked with Arsenal if he hasn't already, and a lot of other European clubs. Obviously, I believe Perrin played at the back as well, the experienced centre-half. Obviously, from a Marseille point of view, it's encouraging seeing Kamara. He's still not all the way there, but that young man could play centre-half and midfield, and he looks more and more composed in every game that goes by, man. So shout out to Saliba getting more experience, man, because all the experience he can get in his second season at St Etienne is going to help him, because it's not going to be an easy ride at Arsenal. There's going to be times he's having good games, even at St Etienne. Everybody's showing the clips of when he's calm under the ball against Monaco, or quickly retweeting things on Twitter where he's had man of the match, where, you know, everybody's saying he's got potential in this and that, and he does. I mean, he's lovely on the ball. He's clearly someone that wants to learn. He's lovely on the ball. He's brave. He's 6'4", very much the modern centre-half. But nobody's speaking about the Mets game. Just when he got terrorised, do you get it, people? It's the same way with Nelson. People are seeing 5-second clips of him scoring, not necessarily watching the whole game, and now man are calling him overrated. Saliba is going to learn some tough lessons playing in this league against some experienced centre-halves. He's a young man. He's going to show his potential, but there's harsh lessons you have to learn. As a defender, it's about being proactive and less reactive, and that only happens with being experienced and being in certain situations where, you know, everybody highlights the centre-half who can make them great last-ditch challenges, and rightly so. Few people highlight the centre-half who read that situation before it's even happened, sorted out his teammates, or got himself positionally in play, and the fire's been put out before it's even burnt any clothes or burnt anything down in the rooms. You get it? Saliba is going to be a great centre-half, but let's not, and I keep saying this in every video, I'm going to sound like a broken record, let's not get hung up on the centre-half we believe he's going to be tomorrow and hold him to unfair standards, because he is an 18, going to be 19-year-old in his second season in England. And for whatever you believe, Joe Willett, Maitland-Niles, Reece Nelson, Guendouzi, many different players. Pepe is slightly older, but Pepe in his situation is different. People are very quick to pick a side, people. Do you get it? And I'm not saying you can't have your opinion. I'm not talking about constructive criticism and opinion. There's always a camp. It's like, nah, he's overrated. He's a flop. And more time, it's the same guys that gas players up. It's like Reece Nelson. Everyone's saying, oh, he's not this, he's not that, and the other. But they were the same ones saying best talent since Wilshere. Why did Emre send him on loan? He should have stayed. Do you get it? All of these things, and now they're saying this, that, and the other. And it happened with Chelsea and Callum Hudson-Odoi, and it happens with a lot of footballers. And as you can see, it pees me off a lot of people. It is what it is in that regard. So shout out to Saliba. I've made another video, but shout out to you lot for getting me to 19,000 subscribers. It means a lot personally, people. It really means a lot. It really means a lot, man. I can't put into words, and hopefully we can keep this thing pushing and maybe one day do this thing full time so I can pursue other goals in football or just in life and really feel fulfilled in my young 24, turning 25 this year. It is what it is. But moving away from that, there's been some news in relation to Arsenal's academy staff. Apparently, we've chosen Academy Operations Manager Lee Harron to oversee our brand new Talent ID department. So he's more or less got a promotion. And with that being said, with our youth department, he'll be joined by Steve Brown, who was previously head of coaching at MK Dons. You know, Dele Alli's come through their academy. Quite a few players come through their academy and are sold off before they even reach first team. MK Dons have a very good academy, so he's bound to know what he's speaking about. We have got some former MK Don staff on the books as well, so maybe with football, maybe people put good words in for Dons and they got the role, who knows. But yeah, man, obviously Hayland is very important to us. It costs a couple £1 million to run our academy. You sell one player for a couple £1 million, it pays for itself, puts the academy in big good names. Obviously as fans, well, me anyways, I like to see man coming from Hayland. It's technically Walthamstow, but it's about probably a 10-minute drive from my house, people. I have been in there, but I've never been in there on a regular basis, Hayland. But it's somewhere you can identify with. It's almost local. I went college not far from there, so it's you see what I'm saying? It's local stuff, more or less. It's not North London, but it's local stuff, and you want to see that, man. And especially as a North Londoner, a pet peeve of mine is there's not actually a North London boy that's come through our academy. London is London, but it's all the South and the East, man. It's like Maitland and Joe are from East, Nelson and Ketty are from South. Where's the North Dons? Where's the Dons from Tottenham, Edmonton? You get what I'm saying? Enfield, you see, anywhere, man. All these sort of places are technically our class. Manor House and Stamford Hill was North London, but it's technically Hackney. Whereas the ballers from these sort of sides there, or Finsbury Park, a stone's throw away, car. You see them sort of things at Tottenham, but I want to see that. In fact, not even at Tottenham, car. What's it? Tanganga, the latest guy, is from Hackney still. So it's not that it means anything, but a pet peeve of mine is to see a North Londoner actually come through this North London club. And also a pet peeve of mine is actually to see another centre-half come through our club of a certain calibre. Because if you're looking at defenders, it's only really been fullbacks, and it's almost been by accident. Ashley Cole, the best example, terrific, world-class fullback. But was he not a striker and someone moved in there? Kieran Gibbs, of course, is not in the same class as him, but he was a winger and a midfielder, went and done his thing at fullback. Bellerin, fair enough, it's not Hayland, but it's still academy. Previously a winger, now a fullback. So I want to see that, people. And yeah, man, you look at Iwobi, he came from Hayland. Obviously, it's not exactly a thing where we didn't put any money in, because how many, he had to get training kit, he had coaching staff through the years had to be paid to give Iwobi training as part of the other group. They went on how many tours. I'm talking about the money invested, whether a player makes it or not from an academy. So it's not exactly a thing where nothing was contributed to Iwobi and it was 35 million. I don't have the exact funds, but either way, Iwobi was sold for 35 million. That can be reinvested. Our academy should be doing that. First and foremost, players for the first team. Second and foremost, selling players. You look at Chelsea. If they want to sell any of them young players in and around that first team, the Mounts, the Tammys, the Reeses, the whoever, they're making 100 million minimum, people. Probably even, you look at Tammy, he's probably 50, 60 alone. That's what we've got to do, because if we ain't got pennies to spend, we've got to be a bit smarter in how we make profits and whatnot. But I've got nothing more to add, so I'm going to keep it moving. As usual, people, it's been a pleasure. DG, I'm out.